Hello everyone, my name is Clentus and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well guys, don't mind me, it is cold outside, but because I just took a shower, I'm feeling a little bit hot. In fact, I'm sweating, so sooner or later I'm going to start feeling cold. Maybe you will see me putting on a jacket or something to keep myself warm. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So what in the Thabo Bester saga is going on? Like, this reminds me of the say, the chickens have come home to roost, I know, but what? This mess, I have never ever seen it before. It's as if Mother Nature is saying, okay, it's payback time, boy, for all the bad things that you have done to my children. Now I'm going to give you bad lawyers. Not only I'm going to give you bad lawyers, but lawyers that are questionable. Their fit and properness is going to be questioned by a lot of people, which kinda, some people would say, birds of the feather flock the same. This is almost the same thing. Like, how do you fire your initial lawyers and then you replace them with people that are questionable, allegedly? As far as I understand, the legal fraternity in South Africa and everywhere around the world, they take pride in the principle of fit and proper. If you are not fit and proper, you should not consciously get into a career that you know you don't have a conscience. Like law. If you are a lawyer, you are known and also taken and put in a pedestal of some sort by society. To this very day, the legal fraternity is one of the most highly respected fraternities in the world. And if you dared seen to be wanting in this profession, you are as good as useless. It's like with Christians. The Bible says you must be blameless and spotless. And yet, here you are. People are pointing fingers at you for stealing money. People are pointing at you for being basically heartless. That's no longer being a Christian, because the Bible does command Christians to be spotless, blameless and spotless. I think that's the terminology used there. So same goes with fit and proper when it comes to lawyers. I think even doctors. So now how did these people find themselves in this situation to begin with? But we are going to be dealing with that in this video. So I already did a video on Mr. Pila. This is the advocate that is going to be taking on Thabo Bester's case. But Thabo Bester's lawyer himself is the one that kind of like had my jaws on the floor. Like, what on earth? So it turns out that Thabo Bester's lawyer, Mr. Ndo, I'm not going to try and butcher his name. I'm just going to call him Mr. Ndo throughout this video. He stands accused of assault and attempted rapists, if you know what I mean. And about 2 months ago, he had some lady that he summoned to his house. The moment that she entered the house without saying a word, allegedly, he began to beat her up. He hit her 4 times on the face, and when he was done beating her, he then dragged her, allegedly, to his bedroom, where he allegedly tried to strip her naked to try and rapist her, allegedly. Ironically, the same lawyer, this is Mr. Ndo, appearing at the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, where he was granted bail of 1,000 rand. A whole lawyer, 1,000 rand. Talk about Animal Farm. Some are more equal than others, because Natasha Jansen, she walked away having paid 5,000 rand bail for just being accused of something she had no clue about. But anyways, we are not there. And just when you think things have slowed down from being crazy, let me remind you again, Thabo Bester's advocate, Mr. Jeremiah Pila, will be appearing also in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, where he's going to have his trial to continue for bribery and extortion and all that other stuff, allegedly. And the same advocate will be representing Mr. Ndo in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court for his own charges of assault and attempted rapist, allegedly. It's pity nje. Yes, it's pity ongasazi siyaphi with this one, because I'm still like, okay, what's happening? What's going on? This is not funny, but at the same time, you ask yourself, am I going crazy? What's happening in South Africa, people? So there was a question that I was asked about what is an instructing attorney. So I get it. Many people have been hearing the word or the terminology instructing attorney without actually knowing what it means. So I thought, let me take the opportunity with this video and basically break it down as simple as I can what an instructing attorney is. So here you are accused of a crime. The first thing that you do is find a lawyer that is going to represent you in your case. And then you go to the lawyer, you sit down with the lawyer, and the lawyer will take down statement. Basically, you are telling the lawyer of what you are being accused of. And the lawyer will write everything, including instructions as to, including instructions. Basic instructions is the consultation as a whole. Now, once the lawyer is done taking all the instructions from you, then they will go and find an advocate. Now, an advocate is a person that can appear in the High Court. Let's say a case that it will end up in the High Court. Anyways, your lawyer, who is the instructing attorney, will write a brief and brief the advocate about your case, and including the instructions. And then the advocate is the one that is going to represent you in the High Court. Now, who appears in the Magistrates Court and who doesn't appear in the Magistrates Court, and who appears in the High Court and who doesn't appear in the High Court? So an attorney that is admitted to appear before a magistrate can only appear before a magistrate. However, an attorney that is admitted to appear in the High Court of South Africa, that means they can appear at the regional court of the magistrates. An advocate can appear in both the Magistrates Court as well as the High Court, as long as the advocate has been admitted onto the bar and can appear before a judge in the High Court. That also includes the Supreme Court of Appeal and the Constitutional Court. However, an admitted attorney can only appear at the Magistrate Court, as I mentioned. However, they can't appear at the High Court and the Supreme Court of Appeal as well as the Constitutional Court. However, they can still be an instructing attorney throughout these processes, meaning from the High Court, Supreme Court of Appeal, all the way to the Constitutional Court. It's just that they don't appear. The person that appears is the advocate that they got their services to appear on behalf of you as the client of the instructing attorney. I hope that one is clear. Okay? I stand corrected as well. If you feel like I missed something, please do correct me. I'm always willing to learn, because this public gallery, we're all about learning. So let's get to Mr. Jeremiah Pila. Mr. Jeremiah Pila, I did a video on him about what he's being accused of. I will leave the cards on this video. Is it this side or this side? You just see a card popping. I did create a video. You can go to that video and check what he's accused of in a little bit more details. However, just to remind you, Mr. Pila is accused of bribing a security CEO. Apparently, this security company had tendered for securing a TVET college in Bloemfontein, and Mr. Pila happened to have been one of the panelists in the procurement process of this tender in Bloemfontein. And so he approached the CEO of this security company and said, listen, I will secure this tender for you provided that you pay me 2 million rand. Apparently, or allegedly. And so the security CEO was like, okay, I can only pay you in installment of 200,000 rand, allegedly. And so the security company did secure the tender, and it so turned out that the security company had not paid the installment as per their promise to Mr. Pila. Now, Mr. Pila was kind of like turning on the heat on the CEO, basically threatening him and intimidating him to a point where basically to pay that 2 million rand in full. So I think the CEO got fed up. And when he got fed up, that is when he approached the Hawks and told the Hawks of what's been going on. And so a sting operation was set up, and apparently they had to meet at some lodge. That is where the sting operation was executed, where Mr. Pila was arrested together with his partner in crime, who worked at the Bloemfontein Road and Transport Department. And so in 2017, they appeared before the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. They got bail, and then their trial had begun in 2017, I think December of 2017. To date, for 5 years, these people, I don't know if they've been going in and out of court. There is not much information about that. But my question is, what took so long for these people to be tried and convicted if they were found guilty? And if they are not found to be not, and if they're not guilty, then what's going on? I don't understand that part about this particular case. But chances are, this is me rubbing my two IQs together, is that maybe Mr. Pila fell out with somebody that was protecting him. Or maybe he was being protected by a politician, a powerful politician, and this case stalled. And now that this powerful politician is no longer in power, now the case has resumed. But now, isn't justice delayed, justice denied? I think that will be my argument when I go back to court on the 26th of June, because that is when he's going to appear on the 26th of June on his trial. That stalled since 2017. And for me, this is where it gets very interesting. On the 20th of June 2023, Thabo Bester and the crew will be appearing before the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court. The day after that, on the 21st, Mr. Ndou will be appearing in the same court, the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, where he is going to start. I think the trial will be starting. And then about 6 days later, Mr. Pila will be appearing in the very same court, in the Bloemfontein Magistrates Court, where I think his case is going to be transferred or it's going to be transferred to the High Court, I think so, where I think his trial will conclude. And also, the interesting part is that Mr. Pila will be representing Mr. Ndou in his old criminal case, as well as Mr. Pila will be representing Thabo Bester on the 20th. Wow. You see why we need the Scorpions back? See, I told you, it's pity Pete. It's pity Pete in J. Sassenbury Street. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Honestly, I found this to be very interesting, even though I don't want to delve deep into this case because I don't know the merits, but I will definitely be following everything, and whatever I find, I'm going to bring it to your attention. We'll break it down and try and make sense of it. What do I think about Mr. Pila's case on the 26th? I think because it's been 5 years later, there's a chance that he'll be acquitted. There's a chance. I actually do foresee a chance of him getting acquitted on this matter because 5 years is way too long for a trial to conclude. What stopped it? That's what I want to know. What stopped the process to date? And as for Mr. Ndou, he's going to jail. That's what I foresee. Unless the lady goes and withdraws the charges against him, he's going to jail. Okay, don't get me wrong about this one. I still feel that these two gentlemen should have either de-rolled themselves from the attorney's role. Okay, one from attorney's role, the other one debarred himself until they went and cleared their names and then came back and started all over again. Because the thing is, for me, I feel like fit and proper is so important, especially in the legal fraternity. You are the officer of the court. You are held at a certain standard. So you must have some kind of consciousness that will say, okay, so that I don't put the fraternity into disrepute, why don't I withdraw myself, go deal with this matter, come back? And I also don't blame the Legal Practice Council, where it said that they are not going to do anything about these two people up until a court of law has made a determination about whether they're guilty or not. But the moment that they are found guilty, then they will make an application, or they can make an application to basically have them removed on the basis that they are no longer fit and proper to be lawyers. So I think this is what they said. They said that they are not investigating Mr. Ndou. They said that where there is a charge or case against any legal practitioner that is accused of a crime and in court, they have to wait for the process to conclude and until there has been an outcome of the process. Innocent until proven guilty. I think that is what they are trying to say. However, the LPC did say that once Mr. Ndo is found guilty of the charges, then they can make an application for his removal from the attorney's role on the basis that he is not fit and proper. So I say, whether you are an attorney or you are a judge or a magistrate and you find yourself accused of a crime, resign. Save the reputation of the legal fraternity and judiciary and resign. And then go sort the matter out. And then once it's sorted out and you are not found guilty, come back. However, though, even if you do come back, I feel that your fit and properness will always be questioned, always, for the rest of your career. Because as an attorney, you have a plan either of becoming an advocate, and if you're an advocate, you are in the hope that one day you'll be appointed an acting judge someday by the president, and from acting judge you would want your appointment to be confirmed into a full-time judge. You might one day want to be a Supreme Court of Appeals judge or even the Constitutional Court justice, and the fit and properness will always come back to haunt you because of what you've been accused of before. So it's just going to be up to you what you do about it. Then sitting and be dragged screaming and kicking out of the fraternity because you are no longer found to be fit and proper. Use your degree to become a corporate lawyer or do some other things with your degree, because once you hold a law degree, I think you can get away with many things. You can become a manager of a particular company. You can become a lawyer for entertainers, or basically a legal advisor, something. The law degree opens a lot of doors if you hold it in your hand. Then going back to court, because there, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to explain yourself. Why would you find yourself be blamed for something like what you've been blamed for? Because those are the questions you're going to be asked for the rest of your career. But at the same time, I feel, yes, go and get yourself cleared while practicing the law. This one is a little bit complicated for me, but I still fall on the side that if you're accused of a crime, do not put your fraternity into disrepute. Save it by resigning. That's my stance. Anyways, guys, I think this is it with this video. If you like the video, give it a like. If you did not like the video, give it a like anyway. Again, guys, please do leave me a like. This is very important for the algorithm to push my videos to more people. I beg. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, but liking is very important to us content creators on YouTube, because the algorithm is the one that says, okay, people found an interest in this video, or they found this video interesting, and when you like it, then it gives an indication that, okay, let me push it to more people because many people like the video. But if you're just going to watch and say nothing, you don't press the like button, my video will just stay where it is. It's not going to go to more people. So please help me out by liking the video. If you want to subscribe, hey, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell notification so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Leave me a comment down below. Do you think I'm being too harsh on these two gentlemen? Or do you think fit and proper is very important and should be protected at all costs, especially that it deals with people's lives? Anyways, the scorpions must come back. And lastly, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.